Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to just make a quick video because I have a lot of people coming in my chat asking about my Ice Gauntlet Musket Intelligence build. I first have to preface with saying that I used to be a rapier guy. I was all about the rapier. You can see it's level 18 here, and I went for the full grace sort of build with riposte. It's this pretty standard, you know, rapier build. But what I found is just like there's so many guys running around with axes and hammers, and with the inconsistency of how melee works, I just felt like I wasn't being effective enough in a lot of different situations. I found that like I could only succeed if, you know, I was fighting very particular builds, and the heavy armor melee guys were just destroying me. I had no way of getting them off of me. You know, there is some versatility with the rapier in being able to get away. You know, you have your riposte, but if a hammer guy or an axe guy gets inside, they stun you, and their axe swings are so far away that sometimes I can't even hit the retaliation attack after the riposte. And so I was getting tired of, you know, getting owned in certain situations, and I was like, I need to switch my build up. And so as you can see now, I've maintained my musket. I think the musket's great, but I switched to an intelligence Ice Gauntlet build, right? And I found that I have way more versatility in both PvE and PvE, right? So first I'll show you kind of like my build that I'm going for. I'm not quite, you can see that I'm only level 17 with the musket, level 16 with the Ice Gauntlet. And I'll probably make another video that updates after, because I'm so close to being on the precipice of like having the build, you know, be its fullest potential, right? So I'll show you what I'm doing with the Ice Gauntlet first, and I'll show you my skills, my musket skills, and then I'll show you how I make this build work using the gems and my attributes and things like that. So first, you know, I really decided, hey, these people are coming inside, lots of melee out there, especially the green boys with their big ass axes coming in, hammers, stuns. So I need to keep them off of me, right? So I went with, you know, a pretty standard PvP Ice Gauntlet build. As you can see here, I got Ice Storm. Ice Storm's great for keeping him off range. You know, getting all these is very nice, right? The Ice Shower is huge. Ice Shower and Entombed are huge defensive abilities here, right? So Ice Shower slows them significantly. And not only that, if you get this trait here, the reduction in defense is actually really good. And it's also really good in bigger fights, right? So, you know, with my passives, I'm in order to get this, you pretty much have to get all the passives here, right? So it's really simple, just all the ice passives plus, you know, Ice Storm on the Tempest side in order to get this in a few levels. I'm very close. I need 2 more levels. But ice abilities chill targets, increasing ice damage by 35% for 3 seconds. That's incredible. So you can see why I'm like, this build is working, but it can still be like a lot better, right? And I'm working my way up. I have all the skills on the builder side that I need. You don't really need the additional skills with Entombed, unless maybe you're going for something more tanky. I think maybe these are better for, I've seen some people tank with Ice Gauntlet in PvE. Ice Pylon, I haven't tried. I don't really see the benefit. So I'm mainly, you know, a world PvPer, and I love doing the faction wars, obviously. So my main focus is PvP here. But I found that the Ice Gauntlet is still incredible if not better than the rapier in most circumstances in PvE, just because of the AoE. Elemental damage is really good against certain enemy types, but I found that I did switch back to rapier when I was doing some dungeons, because musket, I kept the ice gauntlet, but I switched my my musket off to a rapier just because I find that musket is just not that good DPS in a lot of situations. I mean, you could even interchange them, right? You can bring your musket along, and if there's a boss that you can't really get inside with melee with, like, you can switch back to your rapier, which is great about this build. It has a lot of utility, you know, because everything scales with int pretty much, right? So if we look at my musket, I'll explain a little bit more about how the damage type scales, but for musket, powder burn is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to be the main source of your damage. And right now you might be like, hey, why do you only have two, you know, why do you only have a few skills, right? And that's because I'm working towards sticky bomb on this tree, which I'm going to explain why I'm doing that next. Sharpshooter stance is great for the faction wars, for extra damage, for getting people off of the towers that are shooting at your allies if you're on attack, and even if you're on defense, having like I was a cannoneer the other day, and just being able to shoot in between the recharge of cannons in faction wars is huge, right? So again, here it's pretty simple. Shooter stance, pretty much all these passives. I didn't see, I'm not Shroud or anything like that. I don't have like beautiful aim all the time, so something like this is really tough. And you know, the accuracy, hip firing accuracy is not that great, right? But you know, all these other passives I thought was better than having power shot right now. I found myself using power shot more when I had a dexterity based build, but you know, for me it's mainly getting that powder burn shot off, and in, you know, starting in shooter stance with my powder burn loaded first, and then I switch to my ice gauntlet and I wait for the cooldown for the powder burn, right? So because a lot of times I don't have time to reload that power shot, right? So so these are the only two passives that I feel like are kind of useless for me. The rest are all so much better than having power shot, I think, right? So I'm all about range. I have the sniper, and here I'm working towards sticky bomb. But you know, this build could also be great with stopping power if you need that extra CC, which I'm probably going to experiment with in the near future here. So here's my passives. Here's kind of what I'm going for. I'm also going to link the full build, since I don't have all the skills yet that I'm thinking of going. So make sure to check that out in the description. So let's go over my attributes, and you know, it's pretty simple. full int and a little bit of constitution. You need the I think this is almost a 100% must have for any build, right? All health consumables are 20% stronger. That's huge. But you know, full intelligence for this build, because number one, you get 15% to elemental damage with the third node here, and then I'm working towards this node, right? 30% duration to damage over time spells. So that's going to be huge for my powder burn shot, right? Because it does burning damage over time. And not only that, it's also elemental damage. So we're getting two benefits here to my powder burn shot, and it's also increasing the damage of my ice gauntlet, right? So those are two huge must-have nodes for this build, and why I'm going full intelligence. You know, there could maybe be arguments for going for, you know, more crit chance to crit here. But even then, like, if you manage to get even more intelligence here for 30% damage on the first hit on targets with full life, I mean, your snipe headshots are gonna be devastating, right? So now you're probably wondering, like, hey, how, you know, that, intelligence is a secondary stat for your weapon, like how for your musket, right? Well, that's where the gem comes in, right? So I got a pretty good ice gauntlet from what's that, from the depths, I believe. I got this in super good gauntlet, right? And then I also have just like the covenant lumen musket, right? So what we're really looking at here is the gem I put in, right? So 30% of damage is converted to arcane. You can put any, I should have elemental in here. I was just experimenting with arcane. I should have fire damage. I don't know if arcane is actually considered elemental damage. Probably not. So I should probably change this out. I just wanted to try it for some reason. But the most important thing here is that damage scales off of intelligence, right? So putting this in my musket, I think we're getting that primary benefit as intelligence is my main stat. So that's how the musket is still maintaining some good damage through this. And honestly, if you want to make any kind of hybrid build, this is how you do it. It's very simple through your gem. So say you're a healer, right? And you're not doing enough damage. Say you have a life staff. You can have an axe or something like that and make it scale off of your focus with the focus gem, right? So I think that New World did a really good job at allowing people to experiment more with hybrid builds, because when I was kind of worried about in the betas and stuff is that people would just have the same sort of builds. They just dump everything into dexterity, they're locked into bow and stuff like that. But this is really cool, right? Because it allows you to branch out. People have been asking me a lot about, you know, how it is, and I think I'm doing significantly better in world PvP, any kind of PvP, any kind of PvE. The Ice Gauntlet just brings so much utility that you can't, you know, that you can't do with the rapier. You know, I like to have a build that's kind of all around, that's good at everything, and because I'm doing every bit of content, maybe one day I'll switch back to rapier, but you know, with the Ice Gauntlet, laying this down, slowing your enemies in it and doing an entomb, like surviving, going back, loading up, shooting, firing with the musket at him, it's a fun build, man. And you know, as I progress, I will probably make another video on you know, how it's doing with these attributes here, or with these, you know, skills. But really that is the most important thing, is putting in I would suggest to not do this arcane. I would probably I had a fire gem in first, and that's another thing too, right? So this gem, if you put an elemental damage gem in there, your elemental damage, you know, this elemental damage node will increase that elemental damage that you're doing with your gem, right? So it has more skill ability, I think. It really does. And it's more fun to me. Rapier, so I feel like that New World kind of has a problem with being precise with your melee combat, and I really hope that they fix that, because it just feels super clunky, man. As soon as I switched off this, I had such a better time. Like, I'm doing it so much better too in the faction war in terms of damage. But anyways, this was just my quick video. If you have any questions, I stream almost every day during the week. I stream to both YouTube and Twitch. People have been stopping by because they're interested in the build. I just thought maybe I would go ahead and make this video quickly and just to get my thoughts out there on it. Oh yeah, also one more thing, my gear here, full intelligence gear, light armor. I find that I another thing that really improved my gameplay was the fact that I switched to light armor, and you can kind of roll cancel here for extra speed getting away. You know, it really, the roll is actually huge. It's better than having that medium armor, a little bit more tankiness, in my opinion, to get away, since this is kind of a build that's CC oriented. So, you know, there's not much more to that. You know, I think that's the most important thing that people may not know about is these gems. And anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with some gameplay footage of me in a battle in a faction war, so maybe you guys can see you know, kind of how it operates. And yeah, I'll see you guys maybe on my stream or in the next video. Much love. Thank you.
Hey.
All right, let's go.
Oh god, please press E so we can all get out.
All right, B. Everyone to B.
Yeah, we're still funneling out of the gate.
Yeah, we're so rolling.
Flankers on the right.
Alright, let's get on point. All the melee boys.
Melee boys on
Start
point.
forcing them off point. Healers, keep it in, stay out of the AoE.
Keep it on there.
Get on it, get on it, get on it, push them off. Stunning them. Keep the heals up, heals up.
Nice. Keep them on. Get on there, get on there. We're getting flanked on left side of B.
Here we go, we got a group here.
Let him up. Keep going.
Probably need to switch early because we got slowed down by the gate. Should regroup. How are the healers doing?
We're okay. Not amazing.
Keep getting on there.
A lot of AoE damage. I want to switch to air C.
I think C right now. Yeah, alright, everyone switch. Try and move over to C.
Use your potions and run over there. Go C right now.
Move kite to C. If you have traps, lay them down.
There's a couple of them over here at C already. Need the healers to come over here too.
Get your heals on C.
Yep. Drop that shit. Oh, I'm getting
Hey,
snagged.
one on you.
Yep. I'm okay.
On heels.
still a lot of them on B.
Alright. We're gonna... Hey, do we have a lot of people on B still, or...?
No, not friendlies. They have a lot of people on B.
Okay. Alright, we need everyone to jump on the point. We need everyone to group up, and then we're gonna jump on the point. Don't jump on now.
They're rotating back. Some of them are rotating to B. I don't know. They're flexing between B and C.
Helping.
Let's go.
Attack B. Attack B. I got a repeater on it.
They're split between both C and B.
Yeah. We need to all go B right now. Everyone.
Everyone push on B. Everyone on top
Push them
of
off
B.
the point. Off the
Go
point.
on to B. On to B.
There's not that many. Stay on it. Stay on it.
Good, get heals on B. They're coming, they're coming.
Everyone go to B. Everyone go to B. They're pushing us back. Hey, back up, back up, back up. Alright, hey, we have to wait till everyone's here. We have to group up.
Okay.
And then we're gonna try and push C.